Now we're going to go in and add some inner structure to all of our scoops. Okay, so basically we have all these scooped out parts of our car here, up here, and then these portions in the front, and also a couple in the back. And what we want to do is add some basically kind of thin sort of geometry or ribbed sort of geometry in here. It's going to be really simple, but it's going to add a lot to the look of the car. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to bring in a cube and just thin it out a little bit. Just reshape it. Let's go ahead and start with these guys on the side here. And we'll use those as kind of a base for our other ones. Okay. So basically, if we take a look here at our side view, these are basically, you can see 1, 2, 3 pieces that go inside, and this is more towards the outer portion, so this would be out here, and then the second one would be a little bit farther in and forward, the next one a little bit farther in and forward, and the shape of them kind of mirrors this shape of the back here and also the shape of where this door is cut. Okay, and then we've got some opposing ribbed kind of struts up here on the front down at this bottom scoop. Okay, so we'll start with this one, and let's just go ahead. I'm just going to add 3 subdivisions along the height. There we go. And we don't really need, these are going to be intersecting at the top and the back, so we don't really need any of this information back here. Okay, so I'm just going to delete all of those faces. Alright, now let's go ahead and shape this guy into one of our little fins here. Go into X-ray, and let's go ahead, let's just do the back one first. So I'm just going to scale it up until it's intersecting there. And then I'm just going to start pulling these points, kind of create this detail here. Okay, so we're just kind of matching this curvature of this guy. Okay, the thickness looks pretty good. We want it to have a little bit of curve on the front, but we still want it to be a little bit tight, so I'm going to go ahead and add an edge right in the center here, and then just pull that straight out. Alright. Go ahead and delete that history and then sub-D it and see how it looks. See how that matches up. With our line there. Okay, might pull it back just a little bit. Just like that. Alright, and this one's going to be the outer portion. It might actually lost a little bit of volume, so you can go ahead and thicken that up a little bit if you want to. And now we've got this base. All we're going to do is I'm just going to Control D to duplicate, move that in slightly and forward to kind of match up with my other one. And then Control D again, back and forward a little bit more. Okay, and just kind of space them out a little bit. That one can go in just a little. And you know, I think that I want to have this curve in a little bit more. So if you see that, no problem at all. Go in here, grab your points, and you can still manipulate that. You've got a pretty low res piece here, so it's going to be pretty easy to change. One thing I want to do is add a little bit of res right up here, just so that we don't get that sort of curvature at the back. Okay, now I'm going to sub-D that again, check it out. Pull this in, and just kind of get it the way you want it. Alright, and then when you do, it's real easy to go in and just Control D to duplicate, move that one in, and up, and then one more. There we go. Alright, so now we have those side fins right here. We need to work on these down here. We can go ahead and duplicate and reuse this geometry if we want to. In this case, take a look at how these are actually angled kind of like shark fins are kind of angled up and to the right. Okay, so it's a little bit different, but we can still use these. We'll just flip them over. 180. And obviously we'll need to scale them down a bit. And you might have to, since you scale it down, you might need to scale it up. I don't think we will because we don't have a lot of room back here. But I'm just going to add that one right like that. And we might need to change our curve a little bit. It's probably not going to be exactly the same as we had on the other ones, but that's fine because we have such a low res piece here. Okay, I'm going to duplicate that in and up. And then duplicate it again, in and up. And just kind of space them out evenly. Okay. So now we've got some nice fin pieces down here. So now let's go up here and start adding some into the front here. Okay, I'm just going to again duplicate my piece that I've got already created. And let's take a look at how these front ones are looking. This one's kind of at an angle. So I'm going to bring this guy over. And just kind of angle him, kind of a similar angle here. Bring him forward. Okay, we're going to have to scale him down, and let's add a little bit of thickness back into this guy. And rotate him back just a little bit. So we're not getting any sort of interpenetration. Okay, so we've got a nice little piece in there. Now let's look at what we need to do to add our piece in this guy right here. Go ahead and you can either use this one or one of the other ones we've created. I'm just going to duplicate this one. Let's look at the side view and see what this is supposed to look like. Alright, so it looks like these are pretty straight. So I'm just going to drop one in there. Scale it up a bit. Looks like they're a little bit thinner. I think they're going to turn a little bit as they go back. So we'll add this one first. Looks like he needs to be a little bit taller. Rotate him a bit. And you might need to come out a little, and then you can always, if you want to, grab those points if it needs to be a little bit straighter up and down. And then I'm going to go in and just duplicate this guy and move him back. Maybe straighten him up a bit, turn him a little bit, move him up, and let's bring him out all the way here. So it looks like we want him to kind of follow this curvature of this guy. Okay. And let's do one more. All the way back here. Looks like he's even a little bit straighter. And let's go ahead and pull him out just a little bit. Okay. Alright, so we've got getting some nice, you can see how much that's adding to our car right there. A couple more that we need to add are just some straight pieces back here. If we go look at our back view, you can see, if I turn you can see we've just got like a really straight piece back there, and that's not going to be as soft as our little fins that we created. Basically, we just want a kind of cube shape. I'm going to bring a cube back and kind of move it up into position here. Scale it down. Kind of to the right size here. And this is going to penetrate on 3 sides, basically. So we don't need a lot of these faces. Can get rid of those. And then I'll just scale it in. And then all I'm going to do is add a few edges right up here. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Just right there. That's all I need to do for that guy. And then when I sub D that, it's going to curve around. We could just intersect it. I'm going to go ahead and just add an edge right here and here to hold that just a little bit better. That helps a little bit. And then we're going to just shove that back in, and let's scale it out. Okay, want it to just kind of intersect right there. Show sub D. That's in the right spot, looks like, maybe a little bit higher. All right, so now we have those details in, we can go in, and when we duplicate our side pieces, we can actually just copy all of that detail over to the other side. Okay, so we're really getting close here. In the next lesson, we'll actually come in and just fit these, the windshield and the backlight, we'll fit those together a little bit better with the rest of the body that we've created.